Today's Namaste Yoga continues our cultural conditioning series, and it's called You're Already Complete. Hello and welcome to episode 179 of Namaste Yoga. I'm here in the Garden of Eden, otherwise known as my friend Jill's house. It's a cool day, but Jill has this amazing deck with the slated roof that makes it warm. So that's why we're here. And she has this beautiful lilac bush that you can see is dropping all the fragrant lilac flowers, and it looks like it's snowed lilac flowers behind me, so it's really beautiful here today. The one thing about when we come to Jill's house is that the backdrop always looks different. She's just this amazingly talented gardener, and it's such a beautiful backdrop to film in today. Today's testimonial comes to us from Sandy, and she says, I have recently started doing yoga after sustaining a back injury. I was introduced to it again at physiotherapy and found that it had a very positive effect on my mobility and pain management. I enrolled in a therapeutic yoga class once a week for 10 weeks, but found it hard to maintain on my own for the rest of the week. After searching YouTube, I came across Yoga for Beginners 101 about 2 weeks ago and loved it. I've since continued with various episodes to fill in the rest of the week. I enjoy the full teachings that you provide with your classes as well, and have started to reflect more on my life and purpose. I look forward to that 1 hour a day and at least of peace and self-indulgence. She says, welcome to my home. I thought that was so sweet. And that's from Sandra in Alberta. So thank you for leaving your comments on my website through SpeakPipe, YouTube, and your 5-star ratings on iTunes. There are instructions on how to do that at thankyoumelissa.com. And I've got a couple of really great SpeakPipe testimonials that I'll be sharing with you next week. Also, thank you to all of you who have really gotten into the donations for the mic packs. We've already raised $310 of our goal towards $850, and that's just been so amazing. If you go to melissawest.com/mic, M-I-C, you can make a donation there. I really appreciate all of you who have made donations so far. We're really getting there. And it's like these mics know they're on the way out because they've been doing a lot more drop sounds. Even as we've been filming our short 5-minute videos for our blogs every day. So, okay, we love you still just until we can get our new mics. But they're not feeling the love. They know they're on the way out. Thank you to Squeezed Yoga Clothing for our yoga clothes, and to Dusky Leaf for pulling out all the props today. You are going to need... Let me just see, I'm going to pull out what you're going to need. I pulled out all my Dusky Leaf awesome props today. You're going to need a blanket. You're going to need a yoga strap. You're going to need a bolster. I love my Dusky Leaf bolster. And look, it's okay that I got it all dirty because this cover comes off and I can wash it. And blocks. So you can get those props ready. Okay, so you can go ahead and rest back on your back. And we're going to begin our class on You're Already Complete. So take a few moments to make yourself comfortable as you lie down. You might even take your bolster that you got ready and place it under your knees. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Let your shoulders drop back. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. And take a deep breath in and let it fall out of your mouth. So as you know now, cultural conditioning are the social processes by which authority figures such as parents, professors, politicians, religious leaders, peers, the media, including advertising, define our cultural values, beliefs, ethical systems, and ultimately the way we perceive ourselves in the world. Today, we are going to explore the cultural belief that you need somebody of the opposite gender to complete you. The idea that a man needs a woman or a woman needs a man is a culturally held value system and is being hotly debated by our American neighbors right now. So without even getting into the issue of same-sex marriage that has been legalized in my country, Canada, since 1999, let's look at the issue of needing somebody outside of yourself to complete you. That's the yogic issue. Within the study of yoga, there's a belief system, a philosophy, that we all have masculine and feminine energy within us. Within our body, we have many energy channels, but two main energy channels. The Ida Pingala, which runs up the left side of our spine from our root chakra to our third eye at the center of our foreheads. And the Ida Pingala channel, which is said to be our feminine channel, is receptive, creative, intuitive, relational, nurturing, compassionate, and empathetic. The masculine channel runs up the right side of our spine. It's called the Pingala channel. And it is action-oriented, focused, assertive, passionate, transforming, stable, protective, supportive. And it's really important to have the balance of both the Ida, the feminine, and the Pingala, the masculine. So through the practice of yoga, we balance the masculine and feminine qualities within us. Hatha yoga, for example, Ha means sun, and Tha means moon. Yoga is often translated as a practice of joining or union. So from this perspective, we are practicing balancing the sun, the masculine energy, and the moon, the feminine energies in our body. If we look at it from another perspective, if we were simply to practice flexibility, we would have no stability. And this would be really bad news for our joints. And if we just practice stability, we would have no flexibility. So we need both. I reached out to my friends on Facebook for help with an inspiration on this concept yesterday. And Fernando from Facebook shared with me, he once read an explanation about the balancing of the masculine and feminine, and he really liked it. And it goes like this. We all have a mix of masculine and feminine energies in a dynamic state of movement. When you cease to label these energies and reject associated cultural biases, you distill them to pure energy. You then can see and operate at the spiritual level. If you take a moment to focus in on your breathing, you can notice the balance of energy as you breathe in and you breathe out. Tamara from Facebook said, notice how your inhale loves your exhale. So the inhale would be the masculine energy, the more action-oriented, going out and getting, and the exhale be the feminine, the letting go. So notice how your inhale loves your exhale. That's the balance of your feminine and masculine energy right there in your breath. Suba quoted the great sage Maharaj from India, says, "Wisdom tells me I am nothing. Love tells me I am everything. Between the two, life flows." This quote describes that life flows between the poles of masculine, feminine, wisdom and love, everything and nothing. Even our world, Suba points out, balances between masculine and feminine energy. The masculine and feminine energy in us, in our relationship, is similar to the North and South Pole. It is the distance and boundary that causes magnetism and keeps the earth in balance. So as you reflect on the balancing properties of masculine and feminine, just notice what stands out to you about that. And what you would like to set for your intention for today's practice. And once you've set your intention, you can begin to wiggle and stretch out. You can stay lying on your back. We'll do a little stretching on your back to begin. So we're just going to do some preparatory stretching to begin. Some of the poses to come later. So you can bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor. And then cross your right leg over your left quadricep and open your right knee out to the side. Slowly draw your left knee in towards your chest. And you can even just stay like this. What you're feeling for is a stretch in the outside of your right thigh and into your right glute. Or you can reach through and hold on behind your knee, drawing your leg in towards your chest as well. So the right side of your body is said to be the masculine side of your body. And you'll notice when we practice today, we balance our yoga poses by practicing the right and the left side of our bodies, the masculine and feminine side. Then go ahead and release this down. And we'll switch sides. So you're going to go ahead and cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh. Open your left knee out to the side and draw your right knee in towards your chest until you feel a stretch in your left buttocks and the outside of your left thigh. You can stay here. This is perfectly fine. Or you can reach through and hold on behind your right knee. Keep your shoulders heavy. So this reminds me that this week on my blog on melissawest.com we did 9 variations on pigeon pose. This was the reclined pigeons pose. And so I don't know if all of you know this, but I not only do this weekly yoga show, but we do a daily video as well, answering your questions. And so if you watch on YouTube, there's a second channel called Living Your Yoga, or you can just get them on my website at melissawest.com too. And if you're a member, you can get them on the membership site as well. Just check your right knee and make sure it's not leaning over to the left side or leaning out to the right side, so your alignment's really good. It's straight in the center. You'll notice that'll make a difference in the stretch you're feeling on your left glute. And then the third way you can access those videos where I answer your questions, and we also do a weekly juicing video and a weekly smoothie video, is you can sign up on my website to have them either delivered daily, or every Friday Tim sends out a weekly roundup of all the videos we've done for the week too. So lots of ways to get them. The comments are great that you guys are leaving on them, and also it's great when you leave your questions, because those secondary videos grow out of the questions that you leave for me, so it's great. Okay, let's roll over onto your stomach now, and we're going to do another stretch to help to prepare for some poses that are coming later. You might need your strap for this. So just rest on your stomach, and you can rest your forehead on the roof of your hands. Keep your pubic bone rooting into the ground. Bend your left knee in. You can reach around and hold on to your left ankle and draw your heel towards your buttocks. What you're going for here is a stretch in the belly of the top of your thigh muscle. So you want to always feel your stretch in the belly of your muscles, not your joints. So here we're starting with the left side, the feminine side, and we'll balance it with the right side, your masculine side. Creating balance between the masculine and feminine energies in your body. And you might want to just look back at your left knee and make sure that it's not moving away from your midline, like out to the side like that, that it's in a straight line. And then release your left leg down to the ground. And you're going to switch. So you can keep rooting down through your pubic bone. Maybe just look back at your right leg and make sure that it's in a straight line with your hip. Reach around and hold on to your right ankle. If you need to use a strap, that's totally fine. Draw your heel towards your buttocks. And again, make sure you're feeling the stretch in the belly of your quad muscle, not into your knee joint here. Then you can slowly release the right side of your body. And you can make your way up to seated. We're going to do a seated breath practice to balance your masculine and feminine energy. Okay, so this is where your folded blanket might be nice to give yourself a little elevation for your hips to make it more comfortable for you to sit elevated so your knees can open up. Okay, so alternate nostril breathing is a great one to balance the sun and moon channels of your body and your masculine and feminine energy. You're going to take your left hand and bring your thumb and index finger together. You can rest that on your left knee. And then take your right hand, extend your first two fingers. You can rest that on your third eye. You're going to start by closing off your right nostril. And you'll breathe in through your moon channel, the feminine side, by closing off your right nostril. And when you close off your nostrils, you want to close it up really up high, not down low. So right up by the bridge of your nose, and you hardly have to apply any pressure to do that. So close your right nostril, breathe in through your left nostril. Then open your right nostril, close your left nostril, breathe out through your right nostril. Breathe in through your right nostril. Close right, breathe out left. And just check in to make sure you're sitting in your center, not leaning forward. Breathe in left. Close left, breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close right, breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close left, breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close right, breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close left, breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close right, breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close left, breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close right, breathe out left. One more time. Breathe in left. Close left, breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close right, breathe out left. You can lower your right hand down. Breathe normally through both nostrils. Just take a moment to feel the effects of your practice. And just notice if you feel a sense of balance here. And if you don't feel balance, that's fine too. Okay. So next, next, I think we're going to do plank pose. Yes, we are. Okay. What we're going to do is plank pose, and that's going to be the very active, kind of masculine, strong posture. And then after that, we're going to do something more flowing and feminine. So, a lot of people have been asking me for upper body strength poses. Ooh, I knew that was my tea there. I didn't knock it over. So plank is a great one for gathering up strength in our upper body as well. So you're going to come onto your forearms, take your elbows underneath your shoulders, and just take a moment to bring your shoulders up towards your ears, and then press into your elbows and drop them down away from your ears. Pull your hip bones back so you come onto your knees to begin. Then tuck your toes under and lift your knees off the ground. Let's get Tim to time us for a minute here. Breathing. Take a break if you need to. Remember, yoga is not a competition. Feel the stretch in the backs of your toes here. Feel the strength in your core, the fire in your belly. Keep pressing through your forearms. Ten seconds. 10 more seconds. Okay, very good. And come on down, and you can just lie on your stomach for a counter pose here. Just give your body a chance to rest in crocodile pose. So this could even be our feminine posture. There's the activity of the masculine posture, and now there's the rest of the feminine posture. But for the feminine posture, I had chosen to do Sphinx Pose, so something a little bit opening and allowing here. So we'll start by pressing your pubic bone into the ground and then walking your elbows back, and just imagine your spine being like the soft curves of this beautiful lilac bush here. Just bending backwards with that kind of ease, and feeling the movement of your breath along your spine here. So in the last pose, we really felt our stability. And in this pose, we're accessing the flexibility. So just allow yourself to be inspired by the gentle curves of this beautiful lilac twig. And if your spine can be just as bendy as that lilac branch, for some reason that's really allowing my spine to curve today. And that's what the yogis used to do. They used to sit outside and be inspired by nature. And so we can do that today. Yeah, and you can even imagine that each vertebra of your spine drops like the petals of this lilac bush. Okay, and then you can allow your spine to unfurl one vertebra at a time and come back down, and you'll rest in this crocodile pose again. So from here, we're just going to come up and back into child's pose. Draw your knees up underneath you. And now you can imagine that your spine is that beautiful curve again, draped over your knees. Beautiful curve of the branch of the lilac bush again. And then we'll make our way from here up to standing by transitioning through downward facing dog. So come onto your hands and knees, spread your fingers wide underneath your shoulders. The wider you spread your fingers, the more you take your weight out of your wrists and into the webs of your hands. Tuck your toes under, breathe in. Breathe out, lift your hips back and up. And then you can walk your feet forward and come up to standing. Okay, so from standing, we're going to balance your masculine and feminine energies with 2 yoga poses. Shiva's pose, Natarajasana, the dancer pose, the dance of destruction. And then the feminine counter pose to that, the feminine dance of destruction, is Kali's pose, the goddess victory squat. So Shiva and Shakti, the balance of the masculine and feminine energy poses from standing. So we'll start with the masculine pose, Shiva, the dancer pose. If you have a wall, you can use that to help you with balance. So Barb, who's been leaving a lot of comments on my blog, she was asking about balance, and so we'll talk about that as we get into it, okay? I want to address one of the questions that she had today. So let's start by standing on your left leg and bend your right leg, reach around and hold on to your right ankle. Actually hold on the inside of your foot and place your right thumb on your right big toe. That'll open up your shoulder. And watch your knee. As you're doing all of this, you can hold on to the wall to set yourself up. Watch your right knee, because it's going to want to swing out to the side, and that's not good alignment for your knee. Keep it so that it's lined up with your left knee and pointing straight down. So notice mine was rotating out, so I'm going to rotate it back in and line it up with my left knee. Then I'm going to watch for my tailbone wanting to swing up too by dropping my sit bones down. Then from here, I'm going to start to move my heel away from my buttocks, keeping my arms straight, and that'll start to open up my chest. Okay, so this is a balancing posture. And if you're holding onto the wall all the time, then you are still working balance, but you might want to, and this is for Barb, to start lifting your fingers away, or even maybe if you got your whole hand on it, come to your fingertips, or maybe lift 4 fingers, 3 fingers, 2 fingers, 1 finger. Maybe have a little bit of time where your hands away from the wall. But just experiment with taking some time away from the wall, okay, to build up your balance. If you're not using the wall, you can extend your left arm up. And this is Natarajasana, Shiva's dancer's pose. And the dance of destruction is all about destroying that which no longer serves you. It's the destruction of your ego self. I was doing some squat pose in my own practice this morning. I could feel that right in my left butt cheek as I was practicing my, as I was standing on my left leg there right now. Okay, let's do the other side. You're going to stand on your right leg, reach down through your right leg, bend your left knee. And again, let's just check in with that left leg. Line it up with your right leg. Maybe you need to turn in. You're going to hold on to the inside edge of your foot. Place your left thumb on your left big toe. You can hold on to the wall or extend your legs straight out. Keep your left arm straight and start to pull your heel away from your buttocks to open up your chest. Natarajasana, Shiva, dancer pose. And then you can release the side and turn so you're facing the long edge of your mat. And we're going to do Shakti, the feminine energy. See, we got some heat going with the masculine pose. You're going to take your legs out to the side, turn your toes out. Keep your knees back. You're going to sit straight down for Goddess Victory Squat. Take your arms out to the side. There's Kali's pose, Kali's dance of destruction. I wish you had smell-o-vision right now, because if you could smell these lilac bushes, each time I breathe, oh, it smells amazing. Okay, and then release your Kali pose, bring your heels and toes in, and for your inversion today, we're going to do downward facing dog, and we're going to balance your masculine and feminine energy by doing three-legged downward facing dog. So actually, before we do that, we're just going to take a moment to notice how when you bring your hands into prayer position, you're balancing your masculine and feminine energies by bringing them together. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring your palms together. And bring them to your heart center. So here you're balancing your Ida and Pingala channels, bringing the sun and moon, the masculine and feminine energies together. And how many times do you do that in a yoga class? So let's inhale, reach up again. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge forward from your hips. Smell the lilacs on the way down. Step your feet back. Reach your hips up for downward facing dog. And we're going to begin with downward facing dog on the right side. You're going to reach your right leg straight back and then open your right hip up three-legged downward facing dog. Maybe even bend your right knee. If this is too much from here, you can always do this pose. If that's too much of an inversion, you can always do this pose from all fours. Take your right leg behind you, open your right hip, and open your right hip to the side. Okay? And then turn back to the center. So that was your masculine side. Let's balance that with the feminine side. Take your left leg straight back and up. Open up your left hip. Hello, Missy. And then come back center, lower your knees down, and come back into child's pose. And then slowly roll up to seated. And we're going to do a twist. This is a really nice little twist. And I was at a yoga workshop last weekend, and I think I finally got how to do this twist at that workshop. So the way it works is you sit like this with your legs. I don't know how you describe this. Just like this. And what you'll notice is that when you do that, so my legs are to my right, your left. And so your left hip is probably lifted off the ground. So what you have to do is lift your right hip up to meet it. That's why we've got the blanket today. So stick the blanket underneath your right hip. And then they'll be even. And then you're going to inhale and exhale, twist. Then you're going to twist to the other side. And then come back to the center, and we'll flip your legs to the other side. And so this time you'll notice that your right buttocks is lifted off the ground and your left buttocks is really on the ground. So you need to lift your left buttocks up to meet your right buttocks so they're even. And we're going to twist to both sides again. So it doesn't matter which side you twist to first. I don't know if you can hear those birds. Oh, they're blue jays? And let's twist to the other side. So balancing your masculine and feminine energies. And then come back to the center, and we're going to finish with the very receptive and feminine pose, bound angle pose, and that's why I had you have your blocks in your bolster. So if you don't have a bolster, you can always roll up your blanket and create your own bolster or a sleeping bag or something like that, or a couple of blankets. But if you do have a bolster, they're fantastic. It's one of my most used yoga props at home. So I know some people on the membership site, every once in a while that question comes up. Is it a prop worth spending the money on? Yes. You'll use it all the time once you get it. So you're going to place your bolster at the base of your spine. Open your knees out to the side. And then you're going to rest back down. The blocks are going to go underneath your knees. Now, it may not seem like you need the blocks under your knees because you might be uber flexible and it feels comfortable to have your knees out to the side like that. But any of you who have done my SI joint video on the membership site or who have bought it through the shop know that it's really important to stabilize your SI joints here, even if you're flexible with those blocks. So use them or your SI joint is not stabilized, even if you don't need them. Okay, so there you go. There's your reclined bound angle pose. You're going to rest back here and receive. I'm going to sit up, and I have a reading for you here at the end. And this is from Jeff from Facebook, shared it. And it's quite long and a little more spiritual than I maybe would normally share. But if it resonates with you, great. If not, you can just let it go by, pass over you. It's from the Amri 10 Bhava. And it's all about this balancing of feminine and masculine energy. I offer homage to the God and the Goddess, the infinite parents of the world. The lover out of boundless love has become the beloved. Both are made of the same silks and share the same food. Out of love for each other they merge, and part of the joy of being two. They sit together on the same ground, in the same garment of light. From endless time they have lived this way, in union and bliss. Without the goddess he is not, and because of him she exists. It is not God alone in every form, the male, and the female Shiva and Shakti. From the union of these two, the universe has come to be. Two lutes, one note. Two lamps, one light. Two eyes, one sight. Two lips, one word, two hearts, one love. In this way, these two create one universe. The lover out of boundless love has become the beloved. Embarrassed by his formlessness and her own graceful form, she adorned him with a universe of myriad names and forms. In unity, there is a little to behold, but the playful Shakti has presented all the riches of the world. While Shiva sleeps, she is giving birth to all things, living and non-living. And when she rests, her husband disappears. When he hides himself, he can't be found without her grace. They are mirrors for each other. When he embraces her, it is own bliss that he enjoys. Shiva, the enjoyer of all, can find no joy without her. She is her form, and her beauty comes from her love. And in their merging, they enjoy this feast together. Shiva and Shakti are the same, like musk and its fragrance, or gold and its luster. Embracing each other, they merge into one, as darkness and light at the breaking of the dawn. The lover, out of boundless love, has become the beloved. And when the time of dissolution comes, the ocean and the river merge into the primal water, and the air and its motion merge into the universal air. And the sun and its brilliance merge in the elemental fire. And while trying to see Shiva and Shakti, both I and my vision disappeared, like the wood that gives itself onto the fire, and the river that gives itself onto the sea. When my ego is out, I become Shiva and Shakti. Take a moment to reflect on the balancing of your masculine and feminine energies. You are already complete. Everything you need is already within you. So start to bring back together your feminine energy by drawing together your left and right sides, bringing your knees back together, drawing your arms and back together. And then slowly roll to your right side. And that's to balance your energy, because your organs are dominant on your left side. So you always roll to the right side to balance that organ dominant energy on your left side. So you roll to your right side. So roll to your right side and make your way up to seated. Thank you for joining me for episode 179 of Namaste Yoga. We'll finish by joining our masculine and feminine energies together at our heart center and saying Namaste.